Okay, so here's a very specific problem that I encountered recently. How to deal with translations in a dissertation. Recently, I had a conversation with a student who was writing his dissertation, and he was nearly ready, but he still had large bits of primary sources which he needed to translate and then put them into the text. And I understand this kind of approach, but somehow I felt that going about the translations in this manner was not entirely the right approach, because I really think that you should not leave the translations last, because your primary sources are an important element in your narrative. So whatever you read there or how you interpret it, that's going to determine in which way your research goes, or ideally it should. Instead, if you kind of construct your narrative and then you put in the primary sources that illustrate what you think, and especially if you leave them to the end to translate, you add some ornamental things at the end onto the whole, and they're not integrated as well. So I think it's important to translate these sources as you go along, and when you translate them, that's when you analyze them. And so generally, I think that it's best to kind of do your chapters organically, especially when you interpret primary sources, because they are the meat of your dissertation. They are the most important evidence. So you should not use them as illustrations, but rather structure your arguments on them or on the basis of them. Okay, so this is a very specific point. I hope it was useful to someone, and let me know what you think. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.